Okay, last but not least, I just came back down the stairs from the second floor, and now I'm taking you down into the basement. Surprisingly, the basement's pretty nice. There is a concrete floor through this back section. You will see that it does turn into gravel, crushed stone in the front underneath the main part of the church, but I'll get there eventually. So I'm going to start over here on the driveway side. You might be able to see a peekaboo. That's the driveway. We're kind of looking underneath that side porch. Get your bearings over here. Incredible stone foundation. These are just extra bricks that are going to stay with the property. So if you want to make like a fire pit or a patio or whatever, you've got all these bricks and rebar to work with. But this is the actual foundation here. You can see the insulation that's been put in, rock wool insulation in the box sills. There is a water system here. There is a dug well, a private dug well that was drilled, I shouldn't say drilled, but that was put in 2017. So you do have a water treatment system here, and then a ream hot water tank right there. This is an ultraviolet light, by the way. Kills any and all bacteria, which is great. So if this is not a place that you're going to live in all the time, you're going to have clean drinking water, even if it sits empty for a while. So this is now going under the back section. So we're looking out to that back mountain here. This was all cut out by the prior owner, who did a lot of structural work down here in the basement. In order to get this work done, they had to have an access. So they opened up this back foundation wall. So that is why there is some additional concrete block that is here. If you decide to fully rebuild this back section, you've got materials here to do that. In the meantime, it's simply been covered in with a thick, I think this is a 2-inch foam, tells me right there, and then all spray foamed in to make it a good seal. However, it's not perfect. I want to be very clear that, you know, I can see a little bit of daylight right there. So this is really the area where you're going to want to put a little bit of thought and planning into how you want to finish this. Personally, I think, and you'll see when we go back on the outside, this should all be redone, right, with block, and then just backfill there, because there's now there's a hole that they dug out to be able to get down into here. And I think you should do a deck right above that, but that's just my 2 cents. Do whatever you want. So just showing you this other zone over here now. So this is on the north side of the house, the opposite side from the driveway. So there is obviously moisture down here in this corner. This is all quite wet back here. If you need to have a home inspection, look at this, or a structural engineer decide, you know, what's going on with these cracks. Perhaps you have more concrete block put in here, or you want to do forms and pour a new foundation to shore up these walls. That would be the thing to do before you close in that opening. Up above, I want to show that you've got all of this newer plumbing, PEX and PVC. There's several electrical panels throughout the building. This one obviously being very new, just for the hot water heater, extra breaker spaces. I believe that there are 4 panels throughout the property. All right, so now we're going to go down this little ramp. So it is declined right here. So as you walk down the ramp, we get into the section that is underneath what was really the church, the sacred space. So you can see the same fieldstone foundation here all the way around. And the prior owner did all of this incredible structural work. So he had these concrete posts piers essentially put in, and then did brick. So it's all been beautifully secured. So there are some areas with concrete still here on the sides. Again, improvement that the prior owner did. Let me get to this good corner over here. So you do have some more concrete here. If you wanted to add some storage units down here, that would be another cool use of the space. Obviously, this basement is not perfectly dry. Most Vermont basements, especially when you have an old stone foundation, are going to take in some moisture. So be thoughtful about that if you are storing anything down here, let alone making it a commercial storage, say for your tenants up above, if this is how you want to develop the property. But that would be pretty cool to, like, you know, divide using the columns here and make some storage units. Or just leave it wide open the way it is and just have storage for all the building materials and wood if you want to put in more wood stoves like there used to be here for heat. It's just such a cool space. Any old wiring, like any old knob and tube, is all gone. That's the beauty of having a structure that's been stripped down like this, is that you can see what's still here. There's some extra slates for roof repairs. And that's it for the basement. We're now going to head out through the side door and show you around the land itself. So we're going to take a turn, head back up here. Okay, so we're going to take the side door and I'm going to start in the back. So I'm going to start up here on the platform and show you what I can from the outside. This is the backyard. I'm gonna go up and down these steps. If you take these stairs, just be mindful that there's no railing here, so be very cautious. So as I said, definitely needs work. Exterior has had modifications. Old stained glass windows have been removed. So all those finishing touches really need to be done. So let's start back here and explaining that this was the opening that James, the prior owner, dug out. So this has not always been this way. This used to just be flat lawn. And then James did amazing work here. I'm not knocking anything he did, don't interpret it that way. But he had this all excavated so that they could blow through that foundation and do a lot of those repairs in the basement. They needed access to get equipment down there. So in order to do that, he had to excavate this out. So again, my suggestion would be to finish reblocking with all the extra materials that were down in the basement, close that in, parge it over, paint it white, and then I think doing a deck here off the back, turning that window into a French door would be amazing. So look at what you would be overlooking. This is just peaceful and breathtaking. Giving you a full panorama. So on the north side of the property, gotta go around this tree. Give me just a second. On the north side, we do have the submarine style propane tank. This is owned by AmeriGas. So this tank is on this property. So I don't know exactly where the line is, but somewhere between here and that blue car, which is on the neighbor's property. So showing you, again, some repair work that's been done, but it's not been finished. It needs zip tape and then siding, and then it needs paint. Slate roof, which appears very solid. But slate roofs always do need a little bit of maintenance, so rather than replacing that with a modern material, you could do shingles, you could do metal, or just keep maintaining the slate. It's probably what I would do. So here in the front, again, you can see where there's original stained glass windows, those beautiful arches there and there, but then this one was taken out and put a modern window instead. Front porch definitely needs work. The stairs are rotted. Be careful out here. They're probably going to be very slippery when wet. But this is the front entrance to the building. And there are sidewalks that go out to the parking as well as out here to the road. I'm going to take a big step back and try to show you the whole thing. It's quite a tall structure. Zoom out. There we go. Very cool. I'm going to stay zoomed out so you can see enough of it. All right, now we're going to take a panorama here of Route 346 and the Christmas tree farm that is across the street. What a mountain view. There are some neighboring businesses. There's also, I believe, a Little League field right here. So you're in a zone that would allow a business or a residence. This is a state highway, Route 346. So the traffic does go pretty quickly. As you can probably hear the cars buzzing behind me. And like I said, we've got the sidewalks here, and then we're closing the loop and going right back to where we started here on the platform. So when you come to see this incredible property in person, this is the way that you are going to come in. And you are going to end up here at the side entrance with the hello mat, checking out this incredible opportunity.